of me working and building. Know how many blocks I need, when I go to build this in my actual world. I'm creative, but I'm not that creative. So right now you've got a barrel with two droppers sitting on top of it. And we've got that all the way down across 8 machines in total. And then another 4 machines over there. I did have to expand this a little bit, as you can see by the walls. I just didn't have a big enough one initially. So we are just going to be inputting each one of these with a comparator coming out. And the reason and we're going to have a hopper facing into our comparators. Oh, and I just realized my volume is not going to be coming through. Yes, second. Why is my controller almost dead again? I had it on charge. And in all honesty, I haven't really been playing that long. No, I am not sick yet. I've got 2 weeks till the beginning of the year, and I go back to work January 6th. So we'll see what happens between now and then. Actually, I need to stay like this. Walk a little bit, ding. Walk a little bit, ding. Walk a little bit, ding. Walk a little bit, and ding. Okay, that's the last of that. So now we're on to the next part of this machine. And I learned this from Rogue Fox, I believe. You're just gonna go ahead and put this on here like this. And I mean, he does a really good job with this tutorial. It was very easy to follow, though I did have to keep pausing the video because the way my brain works, it doesn't necessarily follow tutorials very well. And then, like, oops, did it again. Right there's one too many. So we're gonna just do this and put our redstone along each of these. Anything I can do basically without issues of having to turn off my flying, I will go ahead and do now. Okay, so there, you're gonna put a block on each one of these. More dust along here. Because again, bedrock is a little weird. And you're gonna put these in spaced one apart. Repeaters. And yes, you do want them spaced one apart. And then you're gonna put a block here. A block here. Oops. You want to make sure that you're lining them up and not hitting something that you shouldn't be hitting. Okay, and then into each of these blocks here, you're going to have a comparator not in subtract mode. That was an accident. Just like that's an accident. Okay, and last one. Oh, I didn't finish this machine. Okay, so this is basically what you've got all the way down so far. And then this one here has already got its two. And then our next... so this is where I gotta go and do this. And then you need a comparator here and here. So I'm gonna go quickly. Input everything. So here, it's not there, 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 and I actually broke this block trying to break that. And a couple of these are just temporary. So these two here are just temporary to line these two up like they're supposed to be. Then you're gonna come over here and it's gonna be bang bang. Oops. Why do I keep doing that? And that's just what you're gonna be doing all the way down. Is inserting a temporary, removing the temporary, because you want these hoppers to face into each other. Just like that. And then you need to go through here, and it's going to be a bit of a nuisance. Because you're going to want to put redstone dust on all of these. And just so I'm moving a little bit faster, I'll turn off my crouch mode. And that one's already done. Okay. I'll be right back, everyone. Hello everyone, sorry about that. I am back and we are going to go ahead and finish this build. Ah, so our next item on the list is actually, well, we decided to put my last redstone dust there, which I apparently didn't do, is placing a block there, coming over here using the torch to put a block there, and running blocks this way. Apparently I still gotta put torches down, so let's go ahead and quickly put the rest of our torches down here. Like, oops. Oops. Aim, please. Okay, that puts all of our torches there. And we're gonna go ahead and put our blocks up like this. And when you're trying to place stuff, it doesn't always go like you plan. So we're gonna place that there. And with these machines being built so close together, it also creates a bit of a nuisance when you're trying to place blocks. There we go, that's the last machine on this side. Now we're gonna go ahead and move on to placing in our redstone repeaters again. I missed a block. How did I do that? Oh, I remember how I did that. Because we... okay, so we're gonna go ahead and lay our redstone this direction. There we go, and then that's all done except for our comparators, which I'm gonna put right there. And I may have, yeah, I do that with almost every machine because I'm being a ditz today. Luckily, comparators are just really easy. Because all I have to do is kind of squeeze in and place them. That one's done. Okay, we're all done. And now this is what our building's looking like from yesterday. So we've got this area here covered up with that. And then we've got our machines running along this direction until we get to this corner. We have a 2-block wide gap to start the next row. And we're all done that direction. I'm going to quickly switch over to here. Because that will show us... Hold on. Sorry about that. That'll show us where we're supposed to stop at. And these two here, because they're going to be under the stairs, are going to be well hidden. We are going to go across here, and we're going to find out where our last chest is, and we're just going to go straight across. I'm going to just place a temporary chest going along here. And actually, I'm supposed to have a gap of 2 between the chests, so actually... But this one starts, yeah, 2 blocks away from the wall. No, it starts 1 block away from the wall. So that... It lines up with this outer... one here. Actually, my chest should start here. There we go, now that's right. And I don't know why there's so many holes in the floor. Ah, I've got the wrong color. Yeah, it's supposed to be spruce planks, not whatever plank I had just now. Oops. I should have realized that that looked funny, but I guess I didn't. And I kind of want this to have a feel like similar to the outside for the walls in here. So I think in here at least, I'm gonna do dark oak on the walls instead of whatever plank I was just using. Okay. So up here will be expanded a little bit more to fit into this, and less like this. And then I want this one back. Yeah, so this chest is sitting one back from here. So I'm just using these chests here as a temporary for where I'm going to put everything. I'm just going to go ahead and break out my floor here. Part of it is so I can see what's going on above me. Oh, straight down from there should be right here. That should help guide me as to where I'm putting everything. Actually, I need this one back. Okay, that's the last of that. So now we're going to just start with this and inserting my hoppers. And the way that I build things versus the way that they were built initially is two different things. And I don't necessarily build things the same way every single time. done there. And then we can go ahead and put our first chest here. We'll be putting the second one in a minute. So we're going to go ahead and do that along each one of these. And I'm just going to go down here and make sure, nope, that one didn't go the way I wanted it to. That's one thing you got to double check is make sure that all these hoppers are pointing and we're good there. So now we're going to go ahead and put in our last chest. And there's a reason that I'm not using another hopper to go into a single chest up here because it just really, I'd have to cover it up and I really don't want to have to cover it up and it's a nuisance to do. So that's why I'm just doing a double chest. And I think it looks a lot better in the concept of the apothecary. Right. And I'm just kind of going through and setting certain items up. So like right here would be these two and that one. So I don't have to go up and set these up later. And these will line up directly with that. I'm just going to go through and start placing in my redstone dust. Okay, so now I'm going to place in my hoppers. And it can be very tricky in placing certain things. Just when you're doing it, try not to break your machines. Because if you break the machine anywhere, it's going to be a nuisance. In some cases, depending on how complicated their redstone machinery is, to fix it. I did learn this the hard way. Like I said, when I was building the automatic brewing station, it was not working the way that it was supposed to. And part of it's because it was built on Java Edition instead of Bedrock Edition, which is fine because not everything has to be built for Bedrock. But, I think that, people who specifically play Bedrock because their computers won't handle it or they just aren't very good at computer games, myself included, should have the options that Java players get. Minecraft could, implement that with quasi-kinetics like they do in Java Edition. I think it'd make redstone machinery less complicated between the two systems and allow for non-Java players to be able to create some of the same machinery without having to find workarounds and twists to it to make them work. Like in Bedrock Edition, I can't build a flying machine and actually have it work. And there are, or have supposed to have been workarounds for that, but some of those workarounds are no longer viable. And it is rather frustrating to have, some amazing ideas that you just can't do because nothing works. Okay, hold on. Okay, sorry about that. My allergies are acting up again. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna take out these temporary blocks because I'm gonna go with something pretty, maybe dark oak, to kind of match the outside aesthetic vibes of this build. Because again, this is supposed to be dark and mysterious and all that help. Oh no, this is supposed to be in the front. And to be honest, I actually rather like that. So these two, those three. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So these two here, it's not. I built them one. This one, I built these too far over. It's fine. I don't want to have to tear them all apart and redo them again. I need to go back to my spruce logs. Because I need to go under here and fix this. And then I need to break the floor here because I'm going to have my machine running underneath here, but it's going to be... I think my stairs might be in the way. If I could compact this machine any down further, I would. Yeah, my stairs over here are going to be in the way. So instead of having 3 stairs, I might end up with like 2 stairs. Or I might just have to move the stairs in general. And then, that's another problem with building is you don't necessarily think about what you're doing. Where you want to put something, is where you might have wanted to put it, but it's not necessarily going to work out that way. What happened to my redstone dust? Yeah, that's not gonna work out too well. Dum, dum. There, that one's done. And yeah, me put my stairs in this little area is not gonna work well. I'm gonna have to put my stairs in this employee only room. There is a reason I'm building these with nothing in them at the moment because, yeah. I don't know, I think that needed to actually be there. Yeah, because that has that on top of it, and then this goes up by one and out by one with a redstone dust on the top and that. back under here and fix that. Actually, I don't really need an opening here for a door. I kind of want to go like this, where it's one back, oops, and then up. And then I really don't need the oak planks. I'm gonna bring my spruce planks back. And I need to bring my spruce stairs back. Okay, let's see how that looks from the inside. Part of that you're not really gonna see, so I'm not really worried about that. I want stripes. Come in! stream, and I will see you guys later.